Okie, let's start. All right. So, main topic or first topic for the entire session after, yung prep session natin last time, like a week or two ago. So, today we'll be dealing with the main arteries of the head and neck and associated structures, physiologies, and pathologies. So, kung ano yung mga nakita ko na related habang binabasa ko siya, I have included it here so I don't have to go back to it at some other point. Okay. Let me just share my full screen. There you go. You don't have to see me anyway. Okay. So, to begin with, general facts. So, when it comes to arteries, I'm sure lagi nyo itong naririnig sa faculty ninyo. When you say artery, it's always away from the heart. That it's artery away from the heart. Okay? And alam nyo din naman na arteries generally, they carry oxygenated blood. Well, except for pulmonary arteries and umbilical arteries. So, arteries would carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. Almost always, except for two types of arteries. Again, that would be your pulmonary artery and your umbilical arteries. Okay? And then, ano pang general fact regarding arteries? Arteries, because they carry oxygenated blood straight from the heart, so they have thicker elastic walls. Why do they have thick elastic walls? It's because of pressure. I mean, they have thicker elastic walls so they can adapt to pressure coming from the left ventricle. So, oxygenated blood would be coming from the left ventricle. And dahil yung artery nakakonect siya doon, it has to have elastic walls so that when the heart would pump, the artery would be able to adapt to that high pressure and be able to distribute blood, oxygenated blood in different parts of the body. Okay, so on the left side of your screen, you would see, these are the different layers in your arteries. So you have your outer layer, you have your elastic layer together with your muscular layer, and then your inner layer. So those are the three basic layers that's found in your artery. So later on, like when we get to veins, then you would see the comparison. Like see here on your left side with an artery, so you have an outer layer, that's this red one, and then the smooth muscle layer and the elastic layer for arteries, they're kind of thick. And the reason why it's thick, as I've said earlier, it has to be elastic and it has to withstand high pressure coming from your left ventricle. Okay, so these are just general facts regarding your arteries. Now, let's go to the arteries on your head and neck area. Now, what you can see on your screen right here would be, this is a flow chart actually. Medyo fancy flow chart lang siya. So, the flow chart on the left side of your screen would correspond to the diagram on the, right side of the screen. Baliktad na lang. Okay? So, I want you guys to look on the right side of your screen, where the picture is. So, imagine na nandito yung heart, here, where this. You can see my arrow, right? Yeah, you should be able to see my arrow right here. So, this is actually where the heart is located. The left ventricle of your heart is located. On that part where the left ventricle is, it is connected to your ascending aorta, right here. Okay? So, the ascending aorta, the aorta is the main artery, okay, coming out of the heart. So it has three parts. You have your ascending part, you have the arch, and you have the descending part of it. So when the heart would pump blood, so it first goes to your ascending aorta and then to the arch. Now on the arch of the aorta, this is actually where everything is distributed. Everything that has to go to the head and neck is distributed through the arch of the aorta. Now with the arch of the aorta, as you can see in the picture, meron siyang tatlong branches. That's straightly coming from the arch of the aorta. And what are these three branches? The three branches would be your brachiocephalic trunk or your innominate artery. Then you have your left common carotid artery and you have your left subclavian artery. Okay? So kung titignan nyo yung flow chart sa left side, makikita nyo yung tatlong division, the brachiocephalic trunk or the innominate artery, the left common carotid artery, and the left subclavian artery. Okay? So these are the three main trunks that stems out of the arch of the aorta. Okay. Now, from the arch of the aorta, sabi natin, di ba, meron tong brachiocephalic artery or your innominate artery. This brachiocephalic artery would eventually branch out into another two. One would be your right common carotid artery, and the other one would be your right subclavian artery. So if you would notice, parang naulit lang siya. Kasi from the stem, coming from the arch of the aorta, you have your left subclavian and you have your left common carotid artery. So kung napansin nyo naulit, yeah, naulit lang siya talaga. It's just that on the right side right here, get a pen or a laser pointer. So on the right side right here, instead na mag-stem siya directly from the arch of the aorta, nagkaroon lang muna ng brachiocephalic artery. For what reason, I don't know. Si Lord na makakasagot. Bakit yung kaliwa, diretso galing sa arch of the aorta, sa kanan, nagkaroon pa ng brachiocephalic trunk or innominate artery. But that's how we are made. Okay? So on the left side, straight from the arch of the aorta. On the right side, brachiocephalic first, and then right common carotid artery, and then right subclavian. Okay? Now, this left common carotid artery and the right common carotid artery, the reason why it's called common, kasi yung right and left na common carotid artery niyan, magbabranch out pa siya ulit into two. Okay? You'll have your internal carotid and you have your external carotid. So may right and left siya. Right internal carotid, right external carotid. You have left internal carotid and left external carotid. Okay, so this is the base. Bakit ko siya inuna? Kasi ito yung base, like coming from the heart. This is the foundation from which all other arteries on the face and on the head would be stemming from. At least papunta caudal, in a caudal direction. Diyan sila lahat manggagaling. Okay. So far, may tanong? I guess the downside of this is hindi ko lang kayo nakikita. I mean, I see your comments. So sa mga nanonood, bagong dating, hindi pa nabate. Hi, Alex. Hi, Kim. Hi, Alex and Kim. Hello. Hi, Miel. Jessica. Si Jessa, si Vince. Vince, present ka. Akalain mo yun. Any questions, guys? again, if you would look at the screen, on the left side of it, it's a flow chart. Okay. And on the right side, it's the corresponding diagram. So again, i-trace lang natin ulit, no? So coming from the left ventricle, blood would be passing through your ascending aorta. Okay? Sa ascending aorta, wala, meron siyang branch doon, pero coronary arteries, meaning it would just go back to the heart. So, left ventricle to the ascending aorta, and then blood would pass through the arch of the aorta. From the arch of the aorta, yun yung jumping point ng lahat ng mga oxygenated blood towards the head and neck area. Okay, so from the arch of the aorta, you have three branches. You have your brachiocephalic trunk on the right side, and then on the left side, you have your left common carotid, and you have your left subclavian artery. So going further, on the right side, yung brachiocephalic trunk, it would divide into two. You have your right subclavian, and you have your right common carotid artery. So for the right common carotid artery, since it's called common, so it means it's just a junction of two other carotid arteries, which is your right internal and right external carotid artery. So that's the right side. On the left side, so from the arch of the aorta, you have your left common carotid, which would branch out into your left internal carotid and your left external carotid. And then another branch coming from the arch of your aorta would be your left subclavian artery. Okay? So far, so good? Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, you can type in the chat box and then maybe I'll be able to see it later. If you have a question, para madali pala, if you have a question, before you type in your question, you type in Q before it. So Q dash and then your question. Okay, para pag binalikan ko when I scroll down, later I'll see if you have any questions. Okay. Going back. Where's my slideshow? There. Okay. So, this is the foundation. Gusto ko lang malaman ninyo that this is where it all starts. Okay? This is basic. And hopefully we're not going to go crazy after this. So, basic foundation. Alright. So, let's focus first on your common carotid artery. So, sabi natin, diba, from the arch of the aorta, on the left side, you have your left common carotid artery and then your left subclavian. So let's go with the common carotid artery first. And we'll be talking about it in general. So yung common carotid artery, it's the same on both left and right side. It's just that on the right side, hindi lang siya nanggaling directly from the arch of the aorta. But all other details, they're mostly the same. Okay? So for the common carotid artery, so you have two. You have the right side, right CCA, and you have the left CCA. So you end up with two. Location nila on both sides would be on your carotid sheath. Okay, so the carotid sheath, it's a fibrous tissue on the either side of the neck. So left and right. You have carotid sheath on both left and right. And as mentioned earlier, when you talk about the common carotid artery, it's still further divided into internal and external carotid artery. Okay? So if you sum it up, pag binilang mo siya, you'd end up with two internal carotid artery and two external carotid artery. Okay? Simple math lang to. Kaliwat kanan lang, dalawa. Okay? So you have two on both sides. I mean, one right and then one left. And then the right would further divide into two. And the left side would also divide into two. Okay? So that's the common carotid artery. Now, it says there on third bullet point, the CCA would branch out. it branches out at the C3 or C4 level. When you say C3, C4, that's the spine, that level. Third and fourth level. Sa thyroid level, dun nagba-branch out yung common carotid artery para maging internal at external. Okay. So, if you would, let's change one. There. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to change my laser pointer. Well, I guess for laser pointer, you just have one color. All right. So if you would take a look at the diagram, okay. So ito yung common carotid artery. Pag susundan mo siya, nag-separate siya into two. Okay. So ayan, nag-separate sa dalawa. And then on the right side, nag-separate ulit sa dalawa. Internal and external. Okay. At itong level na to, yan, yung height na yan, kung saan siya nag-separate, yan yung C3, C4 level. Or sa may thyroid area banda. Okay, so that's your common carotid artery. Now, I mentioned that the location for your carotid artery is within your carotid sheath. Okay. So dahil na-mention ko na rin siya, we'll go into that. So what's in your carotid sheath? So as I said earlier, your carotid sheath is located on, the left and right side of your neck area. It's a fibrous area. So nandyan yung mga fascial lining ninyo for your carotid sheath. And within your carotid sheath are several important structures. Okay. Ano-ano yung mga important structures na yan? Of course, you have your internal carotid artery. You have your common carotid artery. So if you would take a look at the diagram on your right, the drawing on your right, so you have your ito yung common carotid artery. Your internal carotid artery remained inside, okay, the carotid sheath. Yung external carotid nag-venture out siya. Ayan. So if you would follow the laser pointer, the external carotid artery actually branched out of your carotid sheath. Okay. So inside your carotid sheath, again, you have your internal carotid, your common carotid artery. Aside from that, you have your internal jugular vein right here, represented by the blue vessel. So that's your internal jugular vein. And then itong yellow na to, that would be your vagus nerve, or no, cranial nerve number 10. And then within this entire sheath also, you'd see your sympathetic nerve fibers and your deep cervical lymph nodes. I mean, on this view, you can't see it, but nandyan siya. Okay? So, yun ang contents ng carotid sheath. Later on would be encountering more like significance nung mga contents nitong carotid sheath. But I would just like to remind everyone, especially when you're studying anatomy, that yung tatlong yan lagi magkasama. VAN. I don't know if tinuro nila yon before sa inyo. VAN. V-A-N. So you have your vein, your artery, and your nerve. They're always together. Well, most of the time they're always together. Okay? So, and that's very evident dito sa carotid sheath. You see all three of them. You have your vein, you have your artery, and you have your nerve, all bundled up within your carotid sheath. So if you would take a look at, other structures, you'd find similar things. For every structure, there's a corresponding vein, there's a corresponding artery, and there's a corresponding nerve that would supply it. Supply it with blood, drain blood from it, and supply it with power in terms of your nerves. Okay? So this is your carotid sheath. Bakit tayo napunta dito? Because of this. Sinabi natin na the location of your common carotid artery is actually within your carotid sheath. Okay? All right. So that's your carotid sheath. Now, other associated structures when it comes to your carotid artery would be your carotid sinus and your carotid body. Okay. Ano tong carotid sinus na to? At carotid body. So, the carotid sinus, it's actually a dilation. Hindi siya special structure na nakapatong sa artery. It's just a dilation on the artery itself. So, kung titingnan niyo tong drawing, you see the bulge? Where the pointer is, that's your carotid sinus. It's just a dilation. It's a bulge on like the junction, close to the junction of where your common carotid artery would branch out. Okay? It's a bulge, it's a dilation. Anong silbi nitong dilation na to? Anong silbi nitong carotid sinus na to? It actually serves as a baroreceptor. So what's a baroreceptor? A baroreceptor is a form of a receptor, kaya nga siya baroreceptor. So a baroreceptor is a receptor that would detect pressure changes. Okay? So in this case, yung carotid sinus, it detects blood pressure changes in the body. So tandaan natin na yung common carotid artery, nakakonekta siya sa aorta. Yung aorta, nakakonekta siya sa heart. So, when the heart would be pumping blood towards the arteries, syempre may pressure yun, di ba? When the pressure is normal, then the carotid sinus will not react because everything's normal. But then, if there's a pressure change when it comes to pumping by your heart, so let's say nag-lessen yung pumping ng left ventricle. So dahil less yung pumping pressure coming from the left ventricle, that could mean lesser blood flow and lesser pressure being transmitted to your aorta and lesser pressure being transmitted to your common carotid artery. Now, your carotid sinus can actually detect when the pressure changes. So, once it detects any changes in pressure, it would send off signals, okay, to the brain. It would send signals to the brain, causing the brain to do something about it. Okay, so that's why whenever we experience any blood pressure changes, the body is able to self-regulate. Okay, hindi porket tumaas yung blood pressure mo, agad-agad mamamatay ka na. Or, pag nag-drop yung blood pressure mo, agad-agad hinimatay ka na. No. When there are small changes in our blood pressure, whether blood pressure goes up or blood pressure goes down, the body is able to self-regulate and adjust as needed. Ganon kaganda ang pagkakadesign ng katawan natin. It's just that when the carotid sinus and your carotid body cannot adapt, and when the brain cannot adapt to the changes, then that's the time, pwedeng himatayin ka na or pwedeng kung ano man mangyari. So, but those would happen kapag hindi na maka-cope yung sarili. But other than that, we are able to self-regulate. Okay, so that's the carotid sinus. It's a baroreceptor. Again, it detects pressure changes. Now, the carotid body has the same function, but instead of detecting pressure, it detects changes in the chemical composition of the blood. Kaya sabi dyan, chemoreceptor. So, hindi siya baroreceptor. It doesn't detect pressure changes, but it detects acid-base balance. Okay, so it's a chemoreceptor. And they're both located here at the junction. So, this is your carotid body. So, the carotid body is actually a structure over. It's a structure over, like, nandun sa may junction. Okay, it's a different structure. So it's a chemoreceptor. It detects changes in the acid-base balance. Acid-base balance ng blood. Okay? So technically, it monitors, when you say acid-base balance, remember pH? So dun papasok yun. If there's any change in our blood pH, whether the pH is low or the pH is high, or if there's some changes in oxygen level, ang makadetect naman nun ay yung carotid body. Okay? But both of them would regulate blood flow. It's just like a different manner of regulating it. Yung isa via pressure, yung isa via chemical. Okay? So those are the associated structures that would go with your common carotid artery. Okay, now we're gonna go further. So ulitin ko lang, arch of the aorta, left common carotid artery. Yung common na yun, magba-branch out into two. Okay? One would be an internal branch and one would be an external branch. So this time, we're going to be talking about the internal carotid artery. Okay. Now, what's interesting about your internal carotid artery is that it's your main arterial supply for the head, especially the brain. But it doesn't give off any neck branches. Remember the diagram, the picture on the common carotid artery? It's within the carotid sheath, and the internal carotid artery went straight up. So, hindi siya nag-veer out. So, it just went straight up. And yun na talaga ang path ng internal carotid artery. It just goes straight up to the head, especially it goes straight up to the brain. So, it doesn't give off any neck branches. Okay? Now, the internal carotid artery is divided into 7 segments. Whether you have to know those 7 segments or not, I cannot say. But those 7 segments are actually based on location. Okay? Hindi siya branches eh. It's just that the internal carotid artery on its way up to its end, may dinaanan siyang 7 areas. And that's what those 7 segments are. Okay? In my opinion, if you know the 7 segments, well, it's good to know. I don't think it's that important, but check it out. C6 and C7, those two I would believe are important kasi C7 would be your terminal branch. C6 would be your ophthalmic branch. So, the rest of them, because you have petrous, you have cavernous. So, 7 siya. Cervical, dun siya nag-start. Check it out, but I don't think it's gonna come out. But who knows? Okay. Now, important branches. For the internal carotid artery, these are important branches based on what I have read and based on what I have browsed through sa mga questions on GA. So, important branches, you have your ophthalmic artery, you have your anterior cerebral artery, you have your middle cerebral artery, and you have your posterior communicating artery. Okay. Now, those in asterisk right here, as you can see, those are your terminal branches. When you say terminal branches, sila na yung dulo. Sila na yung kaduluduluhan ng internal carotid artery. Okay? So, why are these branches important? For the ophthalmic artery, well, obviously, it supplies the orbital area, so the eye area, and a little bit on the side of the nose, the face, some portions of the meninges in the brain, and the lacrimal gland. So that's your tear gland. And the anterior cerebral and the middle cerebral artery, why are they important? Kasama ng posterior communicating artery. It's because first most, yung dalawa, they're your terminal branches. And Another importance of these three on the bottom right here would be your, they form part of your circle of Willis. And we'll be discussing that next, your circle of Willis. So internal carotid artery supplies the head. No neck branches. It mainly supplies the head, particularly the brain. So nakita nyo naman dun sa important branches. Nandun na siya sa level ng eyes at ng brain. Okay. So when it comes to yung sinabi ko kanina on the anterior cerebral and middle cerebral and posterior communicating, just keep that in mind, hold that thought, babalikan ko yan. Okay? So, internal carotid artery, paano nyo ba siya mabilis maalala? Or yung significance niya? You know how when you watch movies and you see all these people na, pag naglalaban, para ma-defeat nila yung kalaban nila, may neck chop. Ano yun? Diba kapag tinira na yung leg, knock out na yung kalaban. Why? It's because of your common carotid artery and your internal carotid artery. Diba sabi ko nga, on the sides of your neck, you have your carotid sheath. Your carotid sheath contains very important structures. You have your vagus nerve, you have your internal jugular vein, you have your common carotid artery, your internal carotid artery, you have your deep cervical nodes, and your sympathetic fibers. So, imagine mo kung yun yung tinira or yun yung hinawakan sa'yo habang sinasakal ka, mananockout ka talaga. Okay? So, tandaan lang. Yung area na yun na tinitira lagi, that's your carotid area. Okay. So, what's the clinical significance? For the internal carotid artery, this is actually where we get our carotid pulse. You know how when you perform CPR? Nakapag-CPR course na ba kayo? Di ba when you arrive on the scene, ano yung tinuturo kapag if you're gonna go and rescue someone, ano yung tinuturo, di ba? First, you have to survey the area, and then you have to survey the person who's down. And then what do you check for? You check for pulse. So where do you check for pulse? Usually, advice nila ay you check for the carotid pulse. So you go to the side of the neck. You can feel it. You can do it on yourself. If you don't feel it, I don't know. Kung ano nangyari sa carotid pulse niyo, baka stress na kayo, hindi niyo siya nararamdaman. But if you press, like against your neck, you'd feel your pulse. Okay, so that's your carotid pulse. So it is important when we're doing CPR because that's where we detect the strongest pulse. Minsan nakikita nyo, like kumuha kayo ng pulso sa may junction, no? Sa may kamay banda, but that's not yung radial pulse. It's not strong. The strong pulse really for emergency purposes would be your carotid. Kasi remember, yun yung malapit sa heart. So when the heart is still pumping good, then you would feel pulse on your carotid artery area. Now, another clinical significance of your internal carotid artery has something to do with CVAs or stroke or TIAs, your transient ischemic attack. So, saan natin siya ma-relate? Remember, ano yung terminal branches ng ICA? Terminal branches would be in the brain area. So when it's on the brain area, you have your anterior cerebral and your middle cerebral artery. So if there's any damage to those, then it could lead to CVA, your cerebrovascular accident or your stroke or your transient or your mini stroke, your TIAs. Okay. Another clinical significance for your internal carotid artery would be presence of atherosclerotic plaque. Can you even remember those? Atherosclerotic plaque. Remember if when you talk about atherosclerotic plaque, plaque in itself is any substance that would form over the hollow insides of your vessels. Parang plaque sa ipin, di ba? It starts as plaque sa ipin, it starts as plaque, but eventually it hardens to become your calculus. It's the same with your blood vessels. It starts as plaque, and these plaque would eventually stack up one against each other. So, pag nagpatong-patong na sila, anong tendency, anong gagawin nun dun sa blood vessel mo? Your blood vessel would start narrowing. So, when your blood vessel would start to narrow, di ibig sabihin, instead na malaking volume ng blood yung dadaan dun, well, hindi na ganun karami yung mga kadaan dahil nga lesser na yung diameter no vessel. Okay? So, internal carotid artery, it is prone to having atherosclerotic plaque. So, it's one of those vessels in our bodies that would be prone to forming those plaque. And alam na natin din yung danger nun, pag nag-narrow yung vessel, nagkaroon ng less blood flow to the area, that means less blood flow to the brain. Well, that could lead to, yung bullet point sa taas niya, stroke. Kasi yun, kulang ang blood flow to the brain. And then another clinical significance for your internal carotid artery is, well, I got this from NBDE, part 1. So it says it's very prone to having a berry aneurysm. What's aneurysm? Ano nga bang aneurysm? Aneurysm is when you have weakening of your vessels. So, nag-weaken yung vessel. So, anong nangyari? Nagiging ano siya? Nagkakaroon siya ng dilations. Imbes na... How can I relate it? Para siyang rubber band. Di ba yung rubber band? Pag elastic pa yung rubber band, pag bago pa siya, pag in-stretch mo yung rubber band, babalik siya sa dati niyang pwesto. But if it loses its elasticity, pag in-stretch mo siya, hindi na siya babalik, di ba? So, it's kind of like aneurysm. So, when the blood vessel walls cannot go back, kasi elastic siya, di ba? Yes, it's the ballooning of your vessels. Yeah, that's aneurysm. So, when the vessel stretches and it does not go back, then that's that area, you have aneurysm. Now, why is it called berry aneurysm? It's called berry aneurysm because it looks like a berry. Legit yun. Hinanap ko yun. Okay, sinearch ko yun. Bakit siya berry aneurysm? It's because the aneurysm, the ballooning of your vessels, actually look like a berry. Okay? Yeah. So, aneurysm, nagiging, yeah, tama yung term. Good job, Deb. It's marupok yung ano. Nagiging sort of marupok yung blood vessel mo. So, it loses its elasticity yun. Nagkakaroon ng ballooning. Okay? So, that's internal carotid artery. Let me see what I have next. Okay. So, sinabi ko to about CVA or your cerebral vascular accident or your stroke. Since I mentioned it, might as well go into it. Now, bakit ba nagkaka-stroke? Okay, bakit nagkaka-stroke ang isang tao? So, sabi dyan, stroke can be due to several reasons. It can be because of embolism. It can be because of thrombosis. It can be because of atherosclerosis, or it can just be because of cerebral hemorrhage. So, anong ibig sabihin ng Anong ibig sabihin anong pinagkaiba ng embolism, ng thrombosis, ng atherosclerosis, ng hemorrhage? Okay? So, I guess lahat sa kanilang apat na cause, hemorrhage would be easy to explain. Because when you say hemorrhage, sige lang ang dugo. So, there's profuse bleeding, that's hemorrhage. So, because of profuse bleeding, the blood that's supposed to go to your brain does not reach the brain, and so, stroke. That's CVA due to hemorrhage. Now, CVA due to atherosclerosis, as mentioned earlier, merong mga plaque, and when these plaque would build up inside your blood vessels, patong sila ng patong, nagnanarrow down yung blood vessel, so less blood flow to the brain, stroke. Now, what about embolism and thrombosis? So when you talk about thrombosis is actually, it's a formation of a blood clot in a vein. So yung vein mo, nagkaroon ng injury, it healed itself, formed the blood clot. That blood clot, it's called a thrombus. Okay? Itong thrombus na to, na na-form, itong blood clot na to, na nasa loob ng blood vessel, na na-form, it can move around. Okay? So, once a portion of your thrombus breaks off and it moves around the circulatory system, then that's an embolus. So an embolus is actually a small piece of a thrombus that is going around in circulation. Kailan siya titigil? Pag napasok na siya sa isang blood vessel na super liit, na hindi siya makadaan. So that embolus right there now serves as a blockage to that small vessel na hindi siya kung saan hindi siya makadaan. So you end up with less blood flow or really no blood flow to an area of your body or an area of your brain, and so stroke. So CVA. Sabi dyan, 70% of cerebral infarct would involve your anterior circulation. When we say anterior circulation, I'll show it to you. It involves your middle cerebral artery. It involves your anterior cerebral artery, anterior communicating artery. It's a circle of Willis. I think that will be on my next slide. But this is for you to know. Okay? Any cerebral infarct yun yung blockage. Okay? Any cerebral blockage would involve the anterior circulation in the circle of Willis, and 90% of that would be due to blockage of your middle cerebral artery. Okay. And that would lead to your stroke. Now, the picture on your right side, you'd see that if you have a right brain injury, your left side would be paralyzed. It's the opposite. So right brain injury, paralysis on the opposing side. Left brain injury, paralysis on the right side. Right brain injury, paralysis on the left side. Okay? So it crosses. It's not ipsilateral. Alam niyo naman yung ipsilateral, di ba? I mean, you remember that. Ipsilateral is same side. But when it comes to brain injury, it's contralateral. Right brain injury, left side of the body paralyzed. Left brain injury, right side of the body paralyzed. Okay, so here it's outlined ano yung pagkakaiba. So if you have a right brain injury, so the left side is paralyzed, which is ito. Matching yung kulay nila. Pink sa pink and then blue sa blue. So a right brain injury right here would paralyze your left side, and then you'd have spatial perceptual deficit. The mood changes for the person. The person becomes more impulsive, aggressive. Mas naging ganun yung behavior niya. Moody, sabi nga. And then yung tao nagkakaroon siya ng impaired judgment and time concept. So, hindi na niya alam kung anong araw na, hindi na niya alam kung ano yung nangyayari actually sa paligid niya. When somebody suffers a stroke and it affects the right side of the brain, the left side of the body is paralyzed. Nagkakaroon siya ng spatial perceptual deficit. Ano ibig sabihin nun? The way he sees things, the way he perceives things, nagbabago. So, spatial. Yung paligid niya, like the way he sees things, iba na siya. Dahil iba na yung paningin niya sa mga nangyayari sa paligid niya, ang result nun ay nagiging moody siya, aggressive. That's why it says here, quick, impulsive, behavioral style. And then that person would also suffer impaired judgment and time concept. Okay? Now, for a person with a left brain injury, so meaning na-stroke siya sa left side, ang paralyzed ngayon ay ang kanan. Okay? So the paralyzed side would be the right side, and then he or she would have speech language deficits. Nakita niyo yun, di ba, madalas sa mga nasa stroke? Na inautal na sila, or sometimes worse, hindi na sila nakapagsalita. So you have your speech language deficits. And as a result of the left brain injury, they would tend to have slow, cautious behavioral style. So meaning, the way they see things, the way they perceive things, yun, hindi sila, yung kabila moody eh. Sila opposite. Sila yung halos hindi na makagalaw, wala nang magawa. Wala. Hindi na makapag-isip ng tama, slurred na yung speech nila, and yun, mabagal sila. Mabagal sa pag-iisip, mabagal sa pagsasalita kung nakakasalita pa sila. And then memory deficits. So, hindi na rin sila masyado nakakaalala. So, those are the manifestations of someone who has a stroke or who had a stroke that involves the left side of the brain. Okay, so again, what's the point of this slide? When a person has a stroke, iba ang manifestation whether the right side or the left side is affected. But what can you expect? You can expect the person to be paralyzed. So if you see a person who had a stroke and that person is paralyzed on the left side, then that means yung right side ng brain niya yung apektado. If you see a stroke patient with the right side of the body paralyzed, then it's the left brain that's actually injured. Okay? Any questions thus far? Let me see where I am. Okay. I'll go to this first, and then if you have questions and clarifications, I can go to that. All right. So, the circle of Willis. Narinig niyo na to kanina. I mentioned it, and I'm sure meron kayong makikita dyan ng mga names of arteries na familiar. Okay, so what's the circle of Willis? The circle of Willis is, well, it looks like a circle, literal. Kaya siya tinawag na circle of Willis. Ayan siya, mukha siyang bilog. Okay, so the circle of Willis, why is it important? It's important because it's the blood supply of the brain. Okay, so the circle of Willis is the blood supply of the brain. Now, itong circle na to actually has two components. One would be your anterior circulation, that's your anterior component, and the other one is your posterior circulation. So this is your anterior circulation right here, and this is part of your posterior circulation. Okay, so for the anterior circulation, makikita mo dyan, It's composed of your anterior cerebral artery. So you have a left and right side. Your anterior cerebral artery, ito siya, kaliwat kanan. At the middle, yung junction ng dalawang, yung left and right side ng anterior cerebral artery mo would be your anterior communicating artery, right here. Okay? And then this is your middle cerebral artery. Again, right and left side. Kung natatandaan ninyo, yung anterior cerebral artery at yung middle cerebral artery, itong taas na to, right here, it's part of your internal carotid artery. Remember I said earlier, those are the terminal branches of your internal carotid artery. So you have your middle cerebral, anterior cerebral, joined together by your anterior communicating artery. So another portion of your circle of Willis, anterior portion, would be this, your posterior communicating artery. So posterior communicating artery, middle cerebral, anterior cerebral, all part of your internal carotid artery. And ito, so itong group na to, they form your anterior circulation for the circle of Willis. Now, to complete the circle, syempre kailangan isara tong side na to. To close it off, you have your posterior cerebral artery. Again, left and right sides of your posterior cerebral artery. Now, another component of your posterior circulation would be, aside from your posterior cerebral artery, would be this, your basilar artery, right here. So basilar artery, later on, you'll find out that it's actually part, where did I go? Your basilar artery right here is actually a continuation of your vertebral artery. Okay? Yung vertebral artery, pag trace down mo yan, pababa sa heart, this is a continuation of your subclavian. So, babalik tayo dyan. Idudugtong natin yan later on. Okay? So, for the posterior circulation, you have your posterior cerebral artery, you have your basilar artery right here, and that completes your whole circle of Willis. So again, our brain has two sets of blood supply, one coming from the anterior area and one coming from the posterior area. Why did God made it so? Well, we are thinking beings, remember? And that's what sets us apart as human beings, the ability to think. So our brains would need a very, very rich blood supply. And that's why you have two, an anterior component and a posterior component. Merong fail-safe, may backup na ginawa sa Lord. So in the event that your anterior circulation has a blockage, then the posterior circulation can still feed the brain with blood. Now, if the posterior has a blockage, then the anterior component can still provide blood supply to the brain via the anterior component. And that's actually the reason why there's two of them. Ganon kagamit ang utak natin at ganon ka-importante ang brain na meron siyang provision for in case a blockage happens in either part, merong sasalo. But of course, pang-compensate lang yon until magawan ng paraan. And then on the bottom there, you'd see again berry aneurysm. So berry aneurysm, it involves mostly your anterior communicating artery and your anterior cerebral artery. Okay. So that's the circle of Willis, the main blood supply of the brain. Any questions or clarifications? Meron ba? You can type in your questions if you have, or if you want to clarify stuff. Yeah, you can do so now. Let me show myself. So, anything? Masyado bang marami? O kaya pa? So if you have questions, just ask. If you don't have any questions, then let me know too, so we can go on. Okay. Ano itsura yan, Vince? Interpret, please. Wanan. Talaga? Malinaw? Kasi naguluhan ako sa sarili ko eh. I mean, I feel like I know it, but yeah. Feeling ko ang dami ko lang kailangan sabihin. And they're all just there in my head. Let's see what I have. Kaya pa po. No questions. Okay. So, habang tinitingnan ko kung ano yung reaction ng ibang tao. No? So, short story. So, I was making these slides, no? I just made these, I think, 2 days. 2 days I did these slides. And for one, well, hindi siya madaling gawin, no? But what I wanted to show you, actually, is when you're studying for anatomy, this is what you can do. I started with NBDE. Actually, that's my main text. Kahit na nag-review ako for boards noon, dyan sa Pilipinas, and even for boards here, NBDE, yung NBDE part 1, must be NBDE part 1. So, what I do is I use that as my main text. I don't go into textbooks, like yung mga anatomy books. Naku, wala nang panahon para dun. So I go into the review book. I check the contents. I read kung ano yung mga nandun ano yung sinasabi niya. And then from there, I would look for other sources, but on the same topic. So what I have presented to you thus far, they're based on the outline on NBDE, but the other input that I have placed in there, they come from other sources. So my suggestion is when you study your anatomy, you do it that way. You use your review book as your guide. So whatever you read in there, you just branch out a little on the side. Parang yung ginawa ko, like for example, when I talked about yung common carotid location, it's in the carotid sheath. So, na-mention yung carotid sheath, ano ba yun? So, dahil na-mention na siya, then look it up. So, that's what I did. I incorporated it in your slide. So, alam yun, that way, you'll make your life easier when you're studying. Para, remember, this is board exams. Hindi siya separate subjects like anatomy lang. Hindi ba halo-halo sila? You have your anatomy, you have your path, you have your physio. So when you study, you try to incorporate all those other things as you study para hindi ka mahirapan. Okay? So moving on. So that was just one branch. That was just one branch of your common carotid artery. That was your internal carotid artery. Now we go to the external carotid artery. I'm giving you guys a heads up. This is, if you found the internal carotid artery a bit difficult to understand, baka mas lalo kayong malunod sa external carotid artery because it's just a lot. So I'm giving you a heads up. You'd see more texts because I cannot do anything about it. Ganun siya talaga. But I'll give it my best shot to explain it to you. Okay? So, common carotid artery branch, your external carotid artery. Now, I have here on the left side of the screen, you see that mnemonics. It's not even a good mnemonics, but I remember this when I was taking the boards. Kasi yan na yan ang mnemonics na nakatatak sa isip ko. So when I was reading NBDE again, parang nag-click lang siya. And yeah, yun na siya, si Salfopson. Okay. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me. So it should make sense to you. One tip regarding mnemonics, no? Mnemonics, they don't have to make sense to everybody. It just has to make sense to you. Okay? Tandaan niyo yun. Mnemonics don't have to make sense to everybody. They just have to make sense to you. Kasi in the first place, ikaw naman yung nag-aaral eh. So, kung naintindihan mo, okay na yun. Kung hindi maintindihan nung katabi mo or hindi maintindihan nung kaibigan mo, then let them devise their own way to remember things. Kasi sila yun eh. Utak nila yun. So, yung utak mo, kung naintindihan mo siya, then good for you. Now, this I'm presenting, yan din yung order naman na yan. Yung SALFOPSM, yan na rin yung order ng external carotid artery. Okay? So, let me just... Okay. So, Salfopson, that's how I remember it. Okay? So, excuse me for that. So, ano yun? Superior thyroid, ascending pharyngeal, lingual, facial, occipital, posterior auricular artery, you have your superficial temporal, you have your maxillary artery. Again, ano yung may mga asterisk dyan? Yung superficial temporal at yung maxillary artery, those are the terminal branches. Terminal branches are the end branches of your external carotid artery. Okay, so you have two, superficial temporal and, superficial temporal and maxillary. Okay. Do you have to memorize them? Superficial temporal, yes. Maxillary, yes. Lingual facial, yes. The rest, as long as you know that they are branches of your external carotid artery, I think you should be good. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, diba? Like ako, when I remember it, I just use that Salfopson. It doesn't make sense, but it sticks to my head. And I just try to remember, ano ba ibig sabihin ng SAL, yung Salfopson na yun? Okay. Ano ba siya? So there, yeah, yung superior thyroid, ascending pharyngeal, then dun ko na. Paulit-ulit. Hanggang sa tumatak. Okay. Now, what's the difference between your external carotid artery and your internal carotid artery? It's this one. The main point the first point on the right. It supplies your head and neck. Remember earlier I said with the internal carotid artery, it supplies the head and the brains, no neck. So your ECA would take care of your neck. Now, your external carotid artery is divided into two segments. It has an anterior segment. Ano ibig sabihin ng anterior segment? It branches out anteriorly. So anteriorly towards the neck and then towards the face. That's anterior. And then you have a posterior segment, meaning papunta sa likod. So when you say it divides into anterior and posterior segments, so anteriorly it goes to the front. It goes anterior. Okay. When you say posterior, it goes back to the back of the neck and it goes up. para lang naman matandaan nyo, dadalawa lang naman yung posterior segment, yung O at yung P. Ano yung O at P? Yung occipital at saka yung posterior auricular. If you make your imagination work, nasan ba ang occipital? Yeah, it is there, going towards the back. So that's a posterior segment. And then the other one is posterior auricular. Auricular would be your ear, so it goes back again. So you have two posterior segments, and then the rest, they go front. Okay, so the maxillary, superficial temporal goes straight, but goes towards the front too. Okay, so dalawa lang tatandaan ninyong posterior segment, the O and the P. That's your occipital and your posterior auricular. Okay. Sabi ko sa inyo, it's a lot. But, you guys should be good. Okay. So, branches. Salfopson, S. Superior thyroid, the area supplied. Your infrahyoid, your sternocleidomastoid, superior laryngeal, and your cricothyroid. I know it's wordy. It's too wordy. I cannot do anything about it. But this is what I want you guys to do. So imagine, like superior thyroid. Na-imagine nyo naman kung nasan banda yung thyroid ninyo, di ba? So it's somewhere on your neck. It's not too high up your neck, not close to your jaw, but it's there, like right in the middle, smack in the middle of your neck. That's where your thyroid is. So if you would imagine, if you have an artery that's in that area, ano ba yung mga pwede niyang supplyan? So let's put your imagination to work. Your infrahyoid, your sternocleidomastoid, your superior laryngeal, your cricothyroid artery, they're all there, close to your thyroid area. One more key, no? When studying anatomy, usually naman, kung ano yung pangalan ng artery, kung ano yung pangalan ng vein, kung ano yung pangalan ng nerve, yun din naman yung corresponding structure. Yun din naman yung name ng corresponding structure na sinusupply nila. So, like superior thyroid, as I said, you know where your thyroid is, so it's close to that area. Ano yung mga branches ng superior thyroid? You have your infrahyoid, you have your sternocleidomastoid, your SCM, you have your superior laryngeal artery, and you have your cricothyroid. Now, bakit may special mention dyan si superior laryngeal artery na larynx at si cricothyroid artery na thyroid? I specifically wrote them kasi hindi kaparehas ng pangalan ng artery yung sinusuplayan niya. Like for example, here you see infrahyoid. So it means you have your infrahyoid artery supplying your infrahyoid muscles. You have your sternocleidomastoid artery supplying your sternocleidomastoid. So I didn't write it twice because it's obvious. Now for your superior laryngeal artery, well, although nandun yung word na laryngeal, still I wrote it down. It supplies your larynx. For cricothyroid, it supplies your thyroid. Okay? Now, ascending pharyngeal. Ascending pharyngeal. So think about your pharynx. Imagine nyo ba kung nasan yung pharynx nyo? And imagine ascending. So meaning going up. So what could it supply? So think about your pharynx and then think about going up. So pharynx, it can go up to your soft palate. It can go up to the meninges, even of your brain, like middle ear and then meninges. Diba? If you would imagine, so from your pharynx on the back side, if you would imagine, it's ascending, it goes up. So from the pharynx, it can go up to your soft palate area, the back of the throat right there, and then go up to your middle ear area and then your meninges. So those are the areas that can be supplied by your ascending pharyngeal. And then you have your lingual artery. Lingual, saan ba natin usually ina-associate ang lingual? Sa tongue, di ba? Tongue, lingua, lengua. Tongue. Okay? So, what do you have to take note? For your lingual artery, then it supplies mostly your tongue, the tongue area, the floor of the mouth, your mylohyoid, your sublingual gland. Okay? Why did I underline? Napansin ko kasi sa board exam, mahilig sila sa mga ganyan eh. Anong blood supply ng ganitong gland? Especially when it comes to glands in the head and neck area, which is your submandibular, your parotid, your sublingual. May mga ganong questions eh. That's why I underlined it. So your sublingual gland is actually supplied by your lingual artery. Your sublingual artery, which is a branch of your lingual artery, which is a branch of your external carotid artery. Okay? And then you have your facial artery. Your facial artery is also called your external maxillary artery. External maxillary. Do not confuse it with your maxillary artery. Remember yung acronym, diba? Sulfopson. The M there would be your maxillary artery. That is your internal maxillary artery. So your facial, siya yung external. But I just saw it in some books, in some sources. But it's just plainly called facial artery. So the facial artery, it supplies your tonsils, your palate, your submandibular gland, okay, your nose, your upper and lower lips, and a branch of your facial artery would be your angular artery, which supplies your lacrimal sac and your orbicularis oculi. So angular artery is somewhere here, actually close to the lateral side of your nose. So closer to your lacrimal sac, tear sac. Okay? So banda dito siya. That's why it's called angular. Okay. So that's SALF. And we move to O and P. Remember O and P, these are posterior segments. So occipital. So occipital branch, area supplied would be again, so coming from the low, it branches out, it goes up to your suprahyoid, your sternocleidomastoid again, dura mater, and then your meninges. So it goes posteriorly. And then your posterior auricular, so makikita nyo naman dyan, ang sinusuplayan niya, like ear. So you have your mastoid, your stapedius, your internal ear, and then scalp, and then your parotid gland. Remember, where is the location of your parotid gland? Your parotid gland is somewhere close to your ear, anteriorly to your ear. That's where your parotid glands are. Kaya nga, di ba yung opening ng parotid gland, saan makikita? Opening ng parotid gland ay makikita opposite ng upper second molars, intraorally. And then you have your superficial temporal. As the name would imply, superficial, so it's on the surface. And temporal, so may temporal bone. So it's on the temporal region of the scalp. That's what it provides. And then, last but definitely not the least, your maxillary artery. Your maxillary artery is, there's a lot to learn. Your maxillary artery, well, first and foremost, it's divided into 3 parts, or 3 segments, based on location. So you have your mandibular, you have your pterygoid, you have your pterygopalatine. Okay. Under these 3 divisions, under these 3 areas, it branches off. I'll show it to you in the next slide. But generally speaking, ang sinusuplayan ng maxillary artery would be your external acoustic meatus, your tympanic membrane. So ear, your dura mater, calvaria, so head, And then you have your mandible, your gingiva, your teeth, and the muscles of mastication. So how do you easily remember this? For maxillary. So this is what I've done for maxillary. I separated them into, well, they have 3 divisions, right? Your mandibular, your pterygoid, and then your pterygopalatine. So for the mandibular division of your maxillary artery, how can you remember it easily? It's the terminal. My mnemonics would be dami, A. Like dami, ang dami. Ang dami na talaga. You know, at this point, marami na talaga. So, dami, A. Dami, ah. So, what are those things? Mandibular, you have your deep auricular, your anterior tympanic, middle meningeal, your inferior alveolar artery, and your accessory meningeal artery. So, D and A would mostly supply your ear area, your external auditory meatus. So may ear. And then your middle meningeal, remember, if you go back, sabi natin, it supplies your dura mater, calvaria. So that falls under your middle meningeal, right here. And then I, inferior alveolar, this supplies the teeth, the gums, similar to your IAN, your inferior alveolar nerve. Whatever your inferior alveolar nerve supplies, that's what your inferior alveolar artery supplies. Okay? So, alam naman natin, di ba, yung IAN, recall IAN. IAN, as it goes through the mandibular canal, it would give off mental nerve, incisive nerve, mylohyoid nerve. So, same with your inferior alveolar artery. You have mental artery, incisive artery, your mylohyoid artery supplying the teeth, the gums, and the surrounding periosteum. Okay? And then last on the mandibular segment would be your accessory meningeal. So accessory meningeal, which supplies your trigeminal ganglion. That's the blood supply. Now, so that's for mandibular. Now, how do you remember the pterygoid branch of your maxillary artery? Just to recall your muscles of mastication. Remember, for your muscles of mastication, you have your temporal, you have your pterygoids, you have your masseter, and then you have your buccinator. So, pterygoid portion of your maxillary artery supplies soft tissues. That's your muscles of mastication. So, pag tinanong kayo, anong blood supply ng pterygoid muscle? So, just recall, pterygoid muscle, it's a muscle of mastication. So, it's on the pterygoid part of your maxillary artery. So, kung nasa multiple choice questions kayo, hindi nyo nakita yung maxillary artery, pero nakita nyo yung external carotid artery. Kung ang choices ay external carotid, internal carotid, at kung ano pang ilagay nila doon, at hindi nyo nakita yung maxillary artery, or hindi nyo nakita yung pterygoid artery, or yung specific name, and you just trace it back. Okay? So, that's deep temporal, pterygoid, masseteric, buccal. Anong similarity ng apat na to? Those are your muscles of mastication. They all fall under your pterygoid. Now, the third division of your maxillary artery would be the pterygopalatine. How do you remember this easily? Ang naisip ko would be anything that would pertain to the maxilla would fall under your pterygopalatine division. Why did I say that? Remember PSAN, MSAN, ASAN for the nerves? You have your counterpart here for artery, so PSAA. You have your posterior superior alveolar artery, your anterior superior alveolar artery. So, ito yung equivalent niya. So what do they supply? Same. Teeth, bones, periosteum surrounding your teeth. Greater palatine, lesser palatine, sphenopalatine. They would all fall under your pterygopalatine portion of the maxilla. Gets? Now, here on the bottom, I place some stuff. So, sabi dyan sa ilalim ng maxillary artery, so just a few notes that I made. The maxillary artery divisions and branches, they're accompanied by your corresponding nerves. So, as what I've said, di ba? Pisan, for your posterior superior alveolar nerve, it goes with your PISA. It goes with your posterior superior alveolar artery. So, magkakasama sila. Greater palatine nerve goes with your greater palatine artery. So, kung alam mo ang sinusuplayan ng greater palatine nerve, alam mo na rin ang sinusuplayan ng greater palatine artery. If you know what your inferior alveolar nerve supplies, then you know what your inferior alveolar artery supplies. Okay, so they go together. The maxillary artery divisions, the branches, would be accompanied by its corresponding nerves. Okay? So just a thought, para hindi masyadong ma-overwhelm yung utak. Now, pag tinanong, ano yung artery na involved sa nose bleeding? Which is baka ngayon pumuputok na tong artery na to sa bawat isa sa atin. Nosebleed, tama na. So it would be your sphenopalatine. Okay? Your sphenopalatine artery. That's the one that's involved in nosebleed. Okay. And then another note there on the bottom, I think hindi nakikita sa screen ninyo. I wrote there the middle meningeal. This one. Middle meningeal artery. That's the one that's almost always involved in epidural hematoma. Ano yung epidural hematoma? Where am I? The epidural hematoma, alam mo yung kapag na-aksidente yung isang tao. Let's say you're in a moving vehicle, you got into an accident, and dumtog yung ulo. Di ba usually, ang sinasabi nila may bleeding, internal bleeding, head injury, may internal bleeding. So, pag may epidural bleeding, hematoma, namumuo na yung blood doon, ang involved na artery doon would be your middle meningeal. So, any form of head injury, sports injury, na may bleeding internally, middle meningeal artery ang pumutok. Kaya nagkaroon ng bleeding. Okay? And then, lastly, on this slide, sabi dyan, maxillary artery has mandibular components. So this is very important for all of us to remember. When it comes to arteries, yung mandibular portion is actually falling under maxillary artery. Nakita nyo naman yun, di ba? It's right here on the very first column. Maxillary artery division, you see underneath mandibular. It doesn't make sense, but that's how it is. So dito nyo makikita na medyo nag-iba, magkaiba siya sa nerve. Remember for the nerves, for the division 5, for the cranial nerve 5, your trigeminal nerve, our trigeminal nerve has 3 divisions. You have your V1, V2, and V3. Diba? So V2 and V3 would be your maxillary and your mandibular. Magkahiwalay sila. I mean, they're both under trigeminal, pero meron kang maxillary branch at meron kang mandibular branch. Now, in the case of arteries, hindi ganun. You only have maxillary artery. Under the maxillary artery, nandun yung mandibular components. So there's no such thing as mandibular artery branch of your external carotid artery. Okay? Baka mamaya makita niyo yun sa exam eh. What supplies your lower second molars? Tapos yung choices niyo doon, mandibular artery, maxillary artery. Baka mamaya sabihin niyo mandibular artery kasi mandibular molars yung tinutukoy. But technically speaking, no. Unless they would outrightly say inferior alveolar artery. But if they just say mandibular artery, then there's no such thing as mandibular artery. Okay? I hope you guys got that point. There's no such thing as mandibular artery. So how are you guys holding up? Pwede pa? Gising pa ba kayo? Gutom na kayo? Ano na? 12:00 na. Oras na para, kumain. Oras na para matulog. For me at least. And so I'm drinking my coffee now. Questions? Comments? Violent reactions? Napa-push up ka, Matt? Sa dami. Baka mamaya pagdating ng board exam, payat ka na. Kung puro push up ang gagawin mo, no? Sana kaya ko rin gawin yun, no? Pag na-frustrate na ako sa kakagawa ng slides, magpo-push up na lang ako. Baka sakaling pumayat din ako. Si Powie gising pa. Buti naman, tanghali pa lang dyan, alangan mo matulog ka na. Pairam mo sa akin yung yung enerhiya. Kanina kaya, while I was waiting for 10:30, I was so sleepy. Sabi ko, mga 9, mga 9:45 yata. Antok na ako. Sabi ko, matutulog ako. I set my alarm for 10 o'clock and for 10:15, just to make sure that I would get up. At manatiling gising. O, ano? Get it pa? Let's see. Okay. Sorry, let me just... Okay. Let's hide me again. And let's go back to this. So, just a quick rundown. Ano na yung mga napag-usapan natin as of now. Okay. So, first we started off with we started off so ito yung sinusundan natin kanina, di ba? So we started off with the left ventricle, pumping blood, oxygenated blood towards your ascending aorta, and then blood flowing to your arch of the aorta, and then blood being distributed to your head and neck. So, left ventricle to ascending aorta, dadaan siya sa arch of the aorta. At the arch of the aorta, we mentioned earlier, it divides into 3 areas. Okay? On the left side, you have your left common carotid artery, you have your left subclavian artery. On the right side, you have your brachiocephalic trunk or your innominate artery. So we talked about the common carotid artery. And we said that with the common carotid artery, it branches out into your internal carotid artery and your external carotid artery. So same thing happens on the right side. From the brachiocephalic trunk, you have your common carotid artery and your subclavian artery. The common carotid artery right here would divide into your internal carotid artery and your external carotid artery. Okay? So, yun na yung mga pinag-usapan natin kanina. So, kung gagamitin natin to na outline, so we basically discussed this. Hindi nakikita ang aking green ink. Nating dilaw. Makita. So, natapos na tayo sa common carotid. Bilugan na lang natin. Tapos na tayo dyan sa common carotid. Tapos na rin tayo, generally speaking, sa internal carotid. Tapos na tayo sa external carotid. Para mukhang marami tayong nagawa. Tapos na tayo sa common carotid. Tapos na tayo sa internal carotid at sa external carotid. Okay. So, what's left? Well, arch of the aorta, there's nothing much to say regarding the arch of the aorta except that it's an arch right there. It's an arch. No-brainer. It connects your ascending aorta to your descending aorta. Arch of the aorta has 3 main branches. 1, 2, and 3. Right there. You have your brachiocephalic artery, you have your left common, you have your left subclavian. So, check. Check. Yay. Tapos na rin siya. Tara. Left ventricle to ascending aorta. Nothing much to your ascending aorta. Well, nandito pala. May maliit. You have your right coronary artery and you have your left coronary artery. Your right and left coronary artery would supply what? Why are they called coronary artery? Because they would supply your heart. So your coronary arteries are the blood supply towards your heart. And they branch off from your ascending aorta. Okay, tapos na rin yan. Ta-da! And then the left ventricle, well, we'll talk more about it when it comes to us studying the heart. But now it's suffice for you to know the left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood to your aorta to be distributed to different parts of your body. Okay? So now we're left with brachiocephalic trunk right here. There's nothing much to it. It's otherwise known as your innominate artery. Wala naman tayong masasabi dyan, kundi it's the first branch of the arch of the aorta right here. It is the junction of your right subclavian and your right common carotid artery. So when they join together, your right common carotid artery and your right subclavian, you end up with your brachiocephalic artery. There you go. Tapos na rin tayo dyan. So we only have one left. One left for the artery of the head. You have your right and left subclavian artery. Okay? Wow. We actually talked a lot. So let's go to your subclavian artery. Here we go. Subclavian artery. Mnemonics for subclavian artery would be vitamin C and D. Vit C D. Again, mnemonics for subclavian artery would be Vit C D. It's like your vitamin C and D. Okay. Now, some facts regarding your subclavian artery. So we said, ilang ulit ko na tong sinabi, the right subclavian artery, where's my colored pen? Right subclavian artery is right here. It came from your brachiocephalic trunk, otherwise known as your innominate artery. Okay? And then the left subclavian artery would be straight from the arch of the aorta, right there. There. Okay? Now, the subclavian artery would supply blood to the head, neck, shoulder, and thorax. So this time, kasi diba, kung napansin ninyo, with the common carotid artery, it basically supplied all of the head and with the brain. And then with the external carotid artery, almost the entire neck area has been supplied already. So when it comes to the subclavian artery, it still supplies. It still gives off supply to the head. Nakita niyo yung vertebral artery. Nakilala niyo na siya kanina. So it gives off supply to the head, to the neck, shoulder, and thorax. So it goes up to the head, but it also goes down, okay, to the other parts of the body. Now, the subclavian artery would eventually become your axillary artery. Okay? So it's the same artery, pero dahil nag-iba na siya ng location, yung subclavian artery naging axillary artery, but it's the same artery. Okay? Kaya nag-iba ng, ulitin ko, kaya nag-iba ng pangalan because of the change in location. Kung nasa na siya banda. Because it's coming down, then nagpalit na siya ng pangalan, naging axillary artery. So close to the axilla part. Now, mnemonics would be Vit C D, vitamin C and D. So what do they stand for? So V would be your vertebral artery, I would be your internal thoracic, T would be your thyrocervical trunk, C would be your costocervical trunk, and then D would be your dorsal scapular artery. Okay? So, dito nyo siya makikita. Meron pala akong picture dito, magamit nga. So, you have your vertebral artery. So, sundan natin tong left side. So, your left subclavian right here, it goes up and goes all the way there. That's your vertebral artery. Then you have your left internal thoracic artery right here. So it goes down. Thoracic. So that should give you a clue. Saan siya papunta? And then you have your thyrocervical trunk. Okay, right there. It should give you an idea too. Saan siya papunta? Thyrocervical. I wonder, saan kaya siya papunta? Thyrocervical. And then you have your costocervical. Costocervical. Saan kaya siya papunta? Costocervical. Saan kaya siya papunta. Okay. And then the dorsal scapular, imagine nyo, scapular, asan kaya yung scapular area ninyo? Then dun siya papunta. I mean, it's not in the picture, but it goes there. So towards the shoulders. Okay. Whew, subclavian artery. Here we go. VIT-CD. You see it on the left side. Vertebral, internal thoracic, thyrocervical, costocervical, and then your dorsal scapular. Area supplied. Sinabi ko na sa inyo kanina yung vertebral. If you would recall, in the circle of Willis, vertebral, it goes up, 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 and up until it would terminate as your basilar artery. Remember? Circle of Willis, posterior circulation, basilar artery, together with your posterior cerebral artery. So, tandaan nyo yun. Ang vertebral artery, nakakonekta siya sa basilar artery, and that basilar artery would communicate with your circle of Willis, supplying blood to your brains. Okay? And then I, internal thoracic. Sabi ko sa inyo, di ba? Imagine niyo, thoracic, where would it go? So area supplied, it would supply the diaphragm up to your superior epigastric area. So you have your superior epigastric artery. So that's for your internal thoracic. It supplies the diaphragm and it supplies the superior portion of your stomach, superior epigastric. And then you have your thyrocervical trunk. Thyrocervical trunk, it would supply your neck area. Thyro, ano ba yung thyro? Thyro would pertain to your thyroid. Cervical would pertain to your neck. So it's that in that neck area. What are the different arteries? So you have your thyroid area supply. You have your inferior thyroid, you have your ascending cervical, you have your transverse cervical, and suprascapular. These are actually the artery names, the artery branches. You have TATs. You have inferior thyroid artery, ascending cervical artery, transverse cervical artery, and you have your suprascapular artery. That's a part of your thyrocervical trunk. And then costocervical trunk. Based on the name, again, costocervical trunk. Costo would pertain to what? No, nakita niyo na dyan. Area supplied, superior intercostals. So it has something to do with your what? With your ribs. And then your deep cervical, costocervical. See, the thing with anatomy, as a as a tip for you guys, the thing with anatomy is if you know prefixes, suffixes, prefixes and suffixes mostly, if you know them and you have ideas about them, you would go a long way. So parang yung sinabi ko, like thyrocervical. Thyro, so thyro, where would it pertain to? Your thyroid area. Cervical, where would it pertain to? Your neck area. Like costocervical. So costo, it would pertain to your ribs, like your rib area. And then cervical again, neck. And then finally, last portion of your subclavian artery would be your dorsal scapular. Scapular. So scapular region. Saan ba yung scapular region? Sa shoulders, di ba? So that's basically your subclavian artery. That is basically your subclavian artery. What do you have to remember? VIT-CD. So you have your vertebral, your internal thoracic, your thyrocervical, your costocervical, and then your dorsal scapular. importante, of course, would be your vertebral, because it would, it's related to the brain for your, it's related to the brain for your circle of Willis. So, importanteng alamin niyo yan. I cannot stress enough the fact for your, the importance of the circle of Willis. Kasi feeling ko, kahit sa exam, lumalabas yan. So, just checking my notes, see if I miss out on anything. Yeah, yun lang naman siya. So you have your vertebral, your internal thoracic, thyrocervical, costocervical, and dorsal scapular. That's it. And then we go back to the circle of Willis. I just went back to the slide para lang mapaalala sa inyo. Again, subclavian artery, one branch would be your vertebral artery right here. So vertebral artery, right and left side. Remember, you have right and left subclavian arteries. So you'd end up with two vertebral arteries, right and left side. Your vertebral arteries would eventually terminate into one basilar artery right here. Now, this basilar artery would connect to your circle of Willis right here. Ayan, kita niyo naman, di ba? So, basilar artery would connect to your circle of Willis via your posterior cerebral artery. And then blood would just be flowing all throughout this circle, supplying your brain. Okay? And I think that's pretty much it for the main arteries of your head and neck. Any questions? Babalik na ako yung napakagandang slide natin kanina. Nasa na yun? Tada! So, we're done. Subclavian artery. Yan. Burado na silang lahat. Any questions, guys? So what you can do to consolidate what you've learned. So you have your, like you can make your own diagram kung saan papunta yung mga bagay-bagay. And then with every, like for example, with, so with every portion in your diagram, just write whatever stuff you remember. Alam mo yun? Like for example, on this slide right here, ano nga ba yung pinag-usapan namin regarding left ventricle to ascending aorta? So, pwede mong sulat dito, left ventricle. Okay, so oxygenated blood. Okay. Ascending aorta. Naalala ko dun sa picture, merong coronary arteries. Arch of the aorta. Ano ba naalala ko sa arch of the aorta? Meron daw 3 branches. Ano nga ba yung 3 yun? 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is you, like consolidating what you have heard and what you have learned. Alam nyo, like, before I started my slides, I don't even think I can remember any of these. Yung mga konti, naalala ko. I mean, common stuff. But the rest, I don't think I remember them. But because I did the slides, before I can even do these slides, I have to read. So, dahil nabasa ko siya ng mga ilang ulit, naalala ko siya ngayon. So, I'm hoping the same for you guys. So, that's why I'm showing to you how you can do it. Even without me. You can do it on your own. Paano nyo i-consolidate yung mga nababasa ninyo at like how to think in preparation for exams like this. Okay, so going back. So arch of the aorta, ano nga ba yung nalaman nyo? May 3 branch. Tak. Okay. So Brachycephalic trunk. Ano nga ba yung sinabi tungkol dito? Okay. Nag-divide siya into 2. Okay. Yan. And then, common carotid artery. Ano nga ba sinabi about common carotid artery? Nagdi-divide din siya into 2. Usually, may internal carotid artery at merong external carotid artery. There you go. So, may internal carotid artery, may external carotid artery. So, yan, sa ilalim. Internal. Ano nga ba meron sa internal carotid artery? Ano nga bang naalala ko doon? Okay. Ito yung pala yung papunta lang siya sa head. So, ito yung papunta siya mostly sa brain. So, importante sa kanya yung mga arteries na papunta sa brain. Oo nga, no? Yung arteries papunta sa brain. Oo nga, nandun yung circle of Willis. Ano nga ba pinag-usapan namin tungkol sa external carotid artery? Ito yung napakahaba. Ito yung napakahaba kasi ang daming acronym. Ang daming mnemonics. So, nandiyan si famous sulfoxam. My goodness, napakahirap gamitin itong. Lord, bibigyan niyo po ba ako ng writing tablet para mabilis na isulat ng mga to? Yan. So, si may na-miss pa tuloy akong isa. Sulfoxam. There. So, ito yung mga natutunan ko. So, si sulfoxam, medyo hindi ko pa maalala kung ano yung mga iba dyan. So, diba, balikan mo na lang. Basta ang naalala ko, 2 segment siya. Itong O at saka P, posterior segment siya. Itong S at saka M, sila yung terminal segment. Tapos si maxillary, siya yung marami. May 3 division si maxillary. Akalain mong kaya ko na siyang sabihin yun nang wala akong tinitig ng notes. So, si maxillary, may 3 division siya. Sabi nga pala, si maxillary artery, may mandibular component. Tapos, yung isang component niya, siya yung sa muscles of mastication. Tapos, yung isang component niya, yun yung totoong maxillary. So, tapos ka na. Internal carotid, external carotid. And then, you go to your subclavian. Ito nga pala yung may madaling acronym. Kasi VIT-CD lang daw. VIT-CD. There you go. Ano nga ba yung dapat kong maalala dito? Na relation niya sa buo? Yung V nga pala. May kinalaman itong V na to dito. Sa circle of Willis. And then, ito. Itong subclavian nga pala, pag bumaba na siya, magiging axillary artery. So, are you getting my point, guys? Kaya niyong gawin yan. I'm sure. So, when you're studying, you try to do that, and that'll make your life way easier. Consolidate what you have heard, what you have seen, and yeah, kaya na yan. If you can do mind maps, that'll be great if you can do mind maps. Ang hirap lang kasing gawin ng mind map sa PowerPoint. Nauusi ako kaya hindi ako gumawa ng mind map. But if it's on paper, mabilis nang gumawa ng mind map. Any questions, comments, violent reactions? I'm toast. May katanungan ba kayo? Meron kayong gustong i-clarify? Another thing, I want you guys to remember that this is supposed to be a review for you. So I'm giving you what I think is very important, but I'm not basing it on nothing. I'm basing it on review books. So, yeah. Meron ba sa inyong Meron ba sa inyo may first aid? First aid first aid for NBDE Part 1. Kung meron sa inyo nung book na PDF, can you please post a link on our group? So, I can also look into it kasi meron lang akong PDF ng NBDE Mosby. Meron akong nakuhang link ng first aid part 1, pero nung binuksan ko siya, hindi siya yung actual first aid na book. It's the compilation of mga ASDA, mga American Students Dental Association test papers. So, if you have yung actual na first aid na book on PDF, and you can send it to me or you can post it on the group, that would be great. Okay? All right. So if you have any questions, just post it on the group, I guess. Yeah. Ask. If you have clarifications or or kung meron akong maling nasabi, yeah, you can always point it out to me. All right? Okay. So we'll leave it at this. Our next one would be on, let me see what's next. Our next one would be on, well, we're done with arteries, so our next one would be on veins. Main veins of the head and neck. Okay? Alrighty, so let's call it a day, and I'll call it a night. Till the next. Laro kayo maigi. Okay? Bye.